bless you, family. I am Khrissy B here, checking in with your Sway's Universe Hot Topics, where I discuss all things music, entertainment, and culture. I would love to welcome my guest, Mr. Davion Farris, the acclaimed singer, songwriter, producer. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. I'm very happy to be here. Very happy to be here.
I am glad you're here. I'm glad. I feel like I've talked to everybody but you in your
Hey, listen.
almost everybody in your family
glad
but
to join
you.
the party. Glad to join the party.
And your family's here with you, so thank you for bringing them aboard too. The energy feels great, and that's what makes this. It's gonna be a beautiful conversation.
Absolutely.
Beautiful conversation. You know, you are, again, singer, songwriter, producer. You've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
For a long time. And you grew up in a musical family. You know, how has that shaped your foundation of who you are today?
Well, you know, I think the biggest way that growing up in my family has shaped me is we've always had a standard of excellence.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we know that a lot of people do music, a lot of people love music, you know, and we just wanted to make sure we were taught to, you know, always is you know how people it's kind of cliche, but like that always do your best. It's like, no, always go the extra mile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And make sure that if you're going to contribute to the vast landscape of music, make sure that you're going to tribute some art that's really going to be impactful.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
So I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from growing up in such a talented family. And
Yeah.
I don't just say that to speak on my own talent like that. Like no, my brothers, my aunts, my uncles, like, you know what I mean?
Like, y'all, I mean, but you guys' roots
the family
are
business.
deep. Yeah, obviously your brothers being Sir and D Smoke.
Yeah,
Who's oldest?
yeah.
You?
I am.
You are the oldest.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you big brother.
Yeah.
Now, was there ever, and then people that may not know, but also Tiffany Goucher, she's
Yeah, that's my cousin.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Grew up like really more like sister, but you know what I
Okay.
mean? My cousin, yeah.
Yeah, just family, just everybody's talented. Now, question, is it the foundation of, you know, growing up with Sir and D Smoke and of course Tiffany and your mother, you know, God bless her soul. Was your house was your house more like the Jackson 5, or was it how was that growing up like? Because you guys are all talented. I'm just curious, was it really hard like growing up in your, you know, pushing everybody to be excellent and pushing for greatness?
You know what? It was always done with love.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
good.
Rather
Okay.
than, it definitely wasn't like a Joe Jackson type of situation.
Like beat you with the greatness, huh? Like,
Right.
Not literally, but you know, just that hard push and just that firmness of you got to get up and you got to do this shit every single day. You
Well,
know?
no, you know what? Really, honestly, and a big credit to my mom and my dad, right? It was more of like a leader by example type of thing. Like she showed us how much she loved the music and how much it meant to her, and we kind of, you know, it kind of allowed us to gravitate towards, you know, whatever our strengths were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was more focused on the singing. Smoke was any instrument he picked up or whatever. It was just like natural, really natural to him. And Sir was well rounded, but he you know, because we were so focused on me and Smoke were so focused on the music, he said, you know what, I'm gonna come back to it, right? And so he became the best basketball player of us, and then decided, you know what, I still love it. I still. You know, and obviously once he, you know, decided he was coming back to music, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Sir is ridiculous. Like so, but yeah, it was really more of like a lead by example thing. Like she I remember she introduced us to Songs in the Key of Life when I was like 10 years old.
Wow.
And that's when I decided like, oh, I want to write.
Yeah.
Like I don't just want to sing. I, you know, the way that Stevie tells stories and the way that he, you know, makes you feel something when you write. I was like, that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? So
Now, was there ever any like friendly competition, or maybe not friendly, between you and Sir being the singers of the family? Was there any competition of like, dang, I got to one up on him? Like, was there any competitive between you guys, or like?
Okay, so we were in a group called In 3D.
Okay.
Right, when we were young. We had gotten signed to DreamWorks Records with by Gerald Busby, the late Gerald Busby, God rest his soul. And I mean, I was the lead singer at the time, and so I felt like, you know, there may have been a little. I feel like that at least inspired them to go hard at whatever it is that they did, you know, because I was kind of like picked out, like singled out a little bit. But I mean, it only made them that much better. Like I like as confident as I am in my pen, Sir is is in my opinion the strongest writer of us, strongest songwriter of us all. I'm happy for that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not like, while there may have it may have been somewhat competitive, it was, again, because there was so much love behind it. You know, my mom was always serious. You know, you don't fight your brother. That's your best friend. That's your, you know what I'm saying? That's your ride or die. You know, it always kept it, you know, friendly and you know, there was always love behind it. Like we're each other's biggest fans at the same time. You know what I mean? Like I root for my brothers in a way that I feel like everybody should for their brother. You know, that I'm their ride or die, and they know and they know that, and I know that they're mine.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So
What I appreciate about you two, though, is that of course, being a millennial, we come from a certain era and genre of music. You know, I did grow up in the household too. My mom was playing like the Anita Baker, the Sade's, and Luther's, and all, you know, all those, you know, classic R&B soul artists. You two have a very rich, very polished, seasoned sound, and you can tell. You know, that you grew up listening to somebody. You know, I'm talking about somebody. I'm talking about the real of the best. You know,
absolutely.
And I'm curious to know, how has your sound been able to translate into today's R&B when it's really just not that? You know, when you're trying not to necessarily conform into what may seem too commercial. You know, because also too, there's this thing that, you know, back in the day, R&B artists didn't cuss in music and songs.
Right. And now we do that.
And now we do. We talking about all types of things.
My mom used to like shudder when she would hear people, because she'd be like, "Oh, why'd you have to do that?"
And talking about making love was just, it was paint, like, who's the king of that? You know, like Luther and all, like they used to be able to paint the picture so vividly without using one curse word.
You know? No, they absolutely did.
So how do you feel like you're able to navigate in a space where everything is so commercialized and you're just trying to keep who you are, you know, preserve it?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I have a good foundation. Like you mentioned, like my personal favorites were, you know, Marvin, Stevie, for sure, you know, for certain. Boys to Men, they were in a time when R&B started to have an edge. They were the you know, like the cleaner version. You know what I mean? But I also came up. I came up in, you know, in the writing game at the same time as some really acclaimed writers and producers of our time now, like, you know, 1500 to Nothing. You know what I mean? Eric Bellinger.
The whole collective, they crazy over there.
Listen, come on, man, come
Eric
on,
too,
listen, crazy. You know what I mean? And even some of the, you know, some of the people that I work with that I, you know, that I look at as like mentors, like Eric Dawkins from Underdogs. You know, he's phenomenal. You know what I mean? And somebody who has been consistent through different ages of music. And people that I've worked with that I look up to. You know, like Troy Taylor. You know what I mean? For example,
absolutely.
Come on, and so I've gotten different, you know, tips and pieces of advice on how to make a good song and how to make music resonate. And you know, and like some of the rules, you know, that come to making like classic music, like music that's timeless. That's really what I aim for. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not about, because obviously I am what you call an R&B purist, right?
Explain that.
So it's based in musicianship. It's based in vocal ability. You know what I mean? That's a layer that we always want to have present. And it doesn't necessarily aim to be trendy, but it's still current, so that it doesn't like fall. It doesn't sound like old, right?
I can hear that.
But
now that you explain it,
that's really what, you know. That's really like a Mario, you know what I mean, or you know what I'm saying, like those, like that kind of vibe. And so, you know, that's what I try to do again with my music. I lead with melody because that's the first thing that people remember. You know, if like, think about it, if somebody brings up a song and you know, they say, "Oh, you know that song," they're gonna hum the melody before they remember a word. True. And so, you know, that's what I try to do. If the melody is memorable and the topic of the song is true to life, then it's gonna work. You know what I mean?
And for anybody that's actually trying to practice that, like, what steps do you need to take? Like, what practices do you need to get there? You know, what does that consist of for you?
Find the artists that resonate with you. I would say, like for like a new songwriter, right? Find the artists and the songs that resonate with you, and kind of like, take a close listen, study them, listen to what they do, and look for what works for you, right? Like I said, for me, I was able to recognize, like, melodies. Like if I go da 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 da, we know what song that. Come on, we know. No, I'm just saying.
On the spot with it, okay? A lot of y'all can't do that.
You know what I mean? But I didn't have to sing the words. But we all know that isn't she lovely? You know what I mean? Like, so you find out what works for you. Melody wise, and then write real life. Like that was something that a piece of advice that stuck with me, that I was given a long time ago. And it's like, as long as you write real life, you will never run out of things to write about. Right. And you know what I mean? When people gravitate towards music that they feel like resonates with them, right? I'm not I've never been like a club goer type, so you're not going to hear that kind of music coming from me, because it won't be true to who I am. Yeah. Right? But there are people who very much live that life, a grand amount of people, so that music will still work. I won't say that, again, that's not something I'm going to aim for, because it's not my experience, not my personal experience, but every single walk of life, you know what I mean? Just make sure that you're really writing what's true to you and what's right. And I promise that's I feel like is the biggest key to it.
Yeah. And then speaking of, I mean, you have a great album you just dropped, Alchemy. Like, I've only been able to listen to it once, but I really, really like it. And I really, of course, this is our first time really meeting and sitting down together, but I feel like you told a lot of your story or about what you've gone through is in this album.
Absolutely.
I feel like this is definitely some personal experiences, and it's I mean, it's just a great body of work. I mean, let's get into it. It's 13 songs, and your features are chef's kiss with the features. You opened up Flirting in the Hallway with Kenyon Dixon. Shout out to Kenyon. Like, first of all,
you can't talk about R&B. Listen, you can't talk about R&B without mentioning Kenyon.
And I love Kenyon. I love Kenyon.
Look, Kenyon is incredible. Yes. He's another one of the peers. He's a little younger than me, but still we grew up in the same time.
Correct.
Songwriting, right?
And he gets it.
And
he gets it. Yeah, he gets it.
Look, the man knows what he's doing. Yeah, he really does. He's a phenomenal singer, a phenomenal writer. He understands melody. He understands, relatability. His vocal ability is top tier.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And I agree. So yeah.
And I love the title, Flirting in the Hallway.
Yeah.
I love that title.
It's a real thing.
And then it just keeps going. And then let's just get into the features real quick. You have track 3, All My Love with Amani Amari.
Yeah.
Great record. I love Fire, but that doesn't have a feature. But Feel is featuring Jalen Josie.
Woo.
And then 6, Love You Forever featuring Simone. Like, it just keeps getting better and better. And then, of course, Down Bad featuring Rayvon. And then you close it out with Reality with your brother, Sir.
Yeah.
Any type of just like when making your songs and putting your track list together, like how did you come up with your features? Was it like, okay, you heard the song, you're like, okay, I got to get this person. Were these songs already in the works? Kind of take me into the creative process of this project.
Okay. Well, when it comes to the features, I wanted to make sure that they were people that were really active, that active first off, in music, and that when it for the singing features, I wanted someone who could really, really sing and represent the craft. Again, me being a purist, vocals are one of the things that we push to the forefront.
Of course, yeah.
And I'm not the type of person that's like intimidated if I feel like someone can sing better than me, or I'm like, please do your thing, because I'm going to do what I can do to the best of my abilities at all times. Yep. You know what I mean? So like shine, because all you're going to do is make the record bigger and better. Correct. Like, you know what I mean? Like Jalen. I already went off about Kenyon, right? But Jalen Josie,
I know.
Jesus Christ, she says, shout out to you, because phenomenal. Okay, phenomenal. I ain't gonna lie, in that session I was a little pressed. I was like, I'm gonna have to do my thing on this one. Listen, because I knew she was going to do what she did, and she sang down. You know what I mean? But so yeah, I wanted to definitely, you know, get people who were serious about their craft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everybody that I did is very much that. You know, even Rayvon with, you know, with the rap, he's a top tier lyricist.
Yes, he is.
Rayvon is amazing, and he's an incredible storyteller too.
I agree.
You know what I mean? The record that I got him on, Down Bad, you know, we wanted to get creative, and I wrote that with Sir and this writer named Modesty from Philly, who's super fucking dope, super dope, and we, you know, we wanted to tell the story of, you know, when, like, you know, being addicted to somebody, you know, that point of the relationship, like it's like you can't shake them, and even if you know that they're not really the best for you, you know what I mean. So we made kind of an analogy with, you know, with drug addiction, alcohol addiction, or whatever, and that and a relationship being, you know, or a toxic relationship being similar. So I knew I had to bring a storyteller to really accentuate the record. You know what I mean? So and then, you know, of course, you know, Kenyon, like I said, I already said what I said about him, and then my brother. He wrote Reality. I have to, you know what I mean? As much as I would like to, you know, say like, oh, I wrote he wrote It's Done and Reality. You know what I mean? And I just put the smallest sprinkle on them, you know what I mean? But I mean, what can I say? Sir, like I said, he's the best writer in the family. So
Are there any song, and I'm always too curious when it comes to, of course, like putting your track list together or stepping into your creative process. Are there any songs that you felt like that you were like about, but you know, once the project was complete, like, oh, you know what, actually this might be the one?
You know, I'm not even gonna lie. It maybe because, okay, I'll mention L.A. Mary only because it was one of the older records from the project.
Okay.
And you know how you always kind of have this, you know, bias to the newest stuff that you do. You're more excited about that, you know what I mean? So but I, again, even with that record, I felt like it had to have a place on the album because it was the point that showed like that I had faltered. You know what I mean? I had fallen for somebody that was, this is not my girl.
Yeah.
This is, and that is what caused, because the first half of the album is falling, you know, is meeting, you know, flirting, then falling, realizing, oh, this is a special person that I've got. And then L.A. Mary comes along and it's like, oh, this is what caused the, you know, the disaster in the relationship. This is where the break happened. You know what I mean? And so even with that record, even though it was one of the earlier records that I had done, I still, and you know, it has an LA vibe, you know what I mean? And that's why, and that's another reason I'm like, nah, we got to make sure that we put that on there. You feel me? Because, you know, I'm an Inglewood native, you know what I mean? But Inglewood is still part of LA, you know what I mean?
So absolutely, yeah.
So I had to make sure that, you know, I felt like that was like a culture record that I had to put out.
Do you feel like it's hard to be open, honest, and vulnerable when projecting or recording a song? Like when you really have to just really lay, or is there a fine line? You're like, let me hold some back, but let me give a little. Are you 100% honest, or you're like, what's your storytelling process?
No,
that vulnerability is hard.
When it comes to vulnerability, I have to shout out to my dad. He is one of those men who is as strong a person as he's shown himself to be. He's always been like been someone who doesn't shy away from how he feels, and so we you know, again we talk about, you know, leading by example. He was very much that in our lives, and so it's kind of more natural, I would say, for me to be open and honest, and, you know, talk about how I, you know, my feelings and that type of thing, because he allowed us to do that. He showed us that it's, you know, you can very much still be a strong man and but also know how you feel and be able to speak to that. Yeah. You know. So.
Any of your personal favorites?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I was trying to see if I could just pick three.
Yeah,
it's
like what are your personal favorites?
Each one has a special. Yeah, you know what I mean. Each one really does. But I mean, I would still say Reality.
Okay.
Would still be one of the top, because that's like the first record that me and Sir, you know, have dropped, and you know, we just shot some dope content to it yesterday, so I'm excited. You know, I'm excited to put that out, and I would say Fire is one of them too.
Okay, that's track 4. Yeah, I love Fire.
Yeah. And it has, because it's kind of a little old to it, to
Yes.
Anita, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
The good love, you know what I mean? It's just, because Anita has a special place in my heart, you know what I mean? Especially in my household now, because, we got my baby over here. That's like, Anita is her, that's her like go to sleep, calm down, chill music. Like I literally will put Anita Baker on and walk around with her and, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, maybe she's out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, Fire definitely does that, and then I would have to say Feel, as an independent artist, it can sometimes be a challenge to, like, even if you get a feature, you gotta, if somebody's signed, you gotta hope that the label clears it and you know what I mean, and Jalen, I feel like they fought, to say, no, we like this record, we want this one to come out, so I'm, a shout out to Taryn and the team. I really, and of course, again, she sang down on that shit. So I would say, Fire, Feel, and Reality.
Okay, great. And let's shout out some of your producers. I'd love to know who else collaborated, who else came up with some of the creative process.
Yes, listen, the
and
honorable...
your production is immaculate. It's just, it really is. This whole thing is just very cohesive. It sounds so good. It's cohesive, but I would love to know who helped on the production side.
Listen, first off, let's give a shout out to the Honorable Siege Monstrosity.
Oh, what's up, Siege?
Come on, my boy Siege. You feel me? Like, listen, Siege gave me 2 slapping tracks. Like,
okay, wait, which ones are produced by Siege?
So Siege did Good Girl.
Okay.
And Siege co-produced Down Bad with another mention I want to bring up, my boy Bam, who's incredible. I'm talking about, about musician, producer, just all around creative. Bam is ridiculous. So the fact that him and Siege teamed up for Down Bad was just like, it was an honor for real.
Promoting a Good Girl.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was the first single that we dropped off the project. Yep. And so I'm really, I'm really happy to have them on there. My boy Aunt Bell. Okay. He produced L.A. Mary, and what's the other one that Ant produced? Feel. Okay, he produced Feel. Okay. Aunt Bell is incredible. You know what I mean? He to his credit, he did like Golden and he did for Jill, and he did In Love with Another Man for which we already know that's like a classic R&B song. And then DK the Punisher. He's done a lot of stuff. He did The Evils for Surf, and he's done a bunch of stuff with Surf, and he did, he came and did Reality on this project, and he also did the other one that Sir wrote, It's Done. Okay, that's also, I didn't bring that one up earlier, but that's one of my other favorite songs on that. I mean, if I had to pick one, that actually might be it. Okay. Because it's a it's a vulnerable record. I really like, that's one of the records that I feel like that I sang, like I did my best singing like that. That was my my connection to my mom was especially with singing. You know what I mean? That's one of the records that I would have played for, like, Ma, yo, you gotta hear me. You gotta hear me on this one. You know what I mean? So that one, and then Mikey Morgan and his crew did one of my other favorites, On Your Mind. Okay. I mean, listen. You named all of them, basically. The whole album, basically. You know what I mean? And then shout out to myself. You know what I'm saying? I did a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So me and Iman Amari teamed up on the song that he did that he's featured on. All My Love. All My Love. And shout out to Iman too. Fire. Yes. Listen, incredible. In his bag too. So I produced the track that the first half, and when it does that switch at the end, that's a complete Iman Amari production. Like, we might even release that version, because said that version of the song where the whole song is just the slowed down because it's that shit is a vibe. Iman put his foot into that for real. And I mean, even like the musicians that came and played on it. Marcus Paul played horns, because I produced the track number 1, Flirting in the Hallway, and he came and he put the horns on that really elevated the all the instrumentation and everything. You can hear every single instrument. If you have a keen ear for music and sound, you can definitely hear how it was just
this wasn't no overnight process.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
It sounds so good, like so good. And congratulations. I mean, it sounds very complete, you know. How did you know when it was complete? How did you know, like, you know what, it's time? When did your intuition tell you, like, drop this thing? Because the people been waiting.
No, listen, no, and it's been a good process, but I mean, shout out to my manager Greg. You know what I mean? Like
shout out to Greg.
He pushed me. We've been working on this for a few years. You know what I mean? I mean, and it may have come out sooner, but we. You know, we just always have been kind of going over the playlist, like, you know, tweaking. I mean, there are some songs that I still want to put out that didn't make it, but not because they weren't like good enough, just because it's like, okay, we didn't want to stretch it out too long. You know what I mean?
You might need to give us an EP or something in a couple months.
We're gonna do it like a reloaded. You know what I mean?
Something.
Yeah. No, that's really what I'm thinking, because I got a feature from Susan Carroll.
Oh wow!
So stupid.
Oh wow!
That is so
we need a deluxe.
Crazy.
We need a part 2.
Shout out to Susan. Listen, baby, we ain't forget. All right. I got that record. It's tough, and it's gonna come out.
We need a part 2.
No, absolutely, absolutely. But you know what I'm saying. Shout out to Greg. That's, you know what I mean. We're a small team. You know what I mean.
It's okay. We're trying getting it done. By the grace of God,
oh,
you guys are getting it
absolutely.
done, and I think everybody's gonna be very receptive to what you're putting out. It's good.
Thank you. I appreciate
you guys, please listen to this project. It's great for real R&B lovers. This is it, you know.
Please.
And I have another question for you. You know, considering that again, we are in what we discussed earlier. We're just in a climate where R&B music just sounds different. But again, we have a handful of you guys that are just still preserving that sound that we love.
Yeah.
And you know, something that's missing from R&B records these days is the bridge. Right? And so I love a good bridge. I love a good bridge. Jodeci, to me, when I think about bridges, I'm like, they have some of the best, Mint Condition and Jodeci.
Absolutely.
They have some of the best bridges that we've ever heard in R&B music, period.
Yeah,
I would love to know some of your favorite bridges from some of your favorite artists.
Ooh.
Or from songs, period. Give me 3.
Okay.
Artists and songs you can think of. I know, I put you on the spot.
Like, oh, girl, you should have gave me this question earlier.
I know. Okay, think of one.
Okay, because
one of your favorite songs that you could think where the bridge is just crazy.
Can I do my own song? No.
Of course, yeah, you can.
So I'll pick a song off this album. Can I sing it?
Please.
Okay. So the bridge goes. Sunset and rise as I fall, dive in deeper and I lose it all. Way too afraid of the truth, so I lie. I started hating the view from the sky.
Showing out.
Showing out. First off, shout out to my brother, Sir.
Yeah.
Right? I already told you he's one of my favorite writers. I feel like he's the best in the family. And that bridge, it was so on point. You know what I mean? Because it's like when we talk about writing in real life, right? I felt like I was like, did you write this for me?
You right.
Like, bruh, you know what I mean? Talking about hating the view from the sky is like I was in, this going back to the relationship that I felt like kind of shaped, this project a little bit. It was like I was in a good place in the relationship, you know what I mean? I was engaged and stuff, and it was almost like I couldn't take where I was, so I'd like self-destructed a little bit. You know what I mean? And so that particular line, that one really hit home in a different kind of way. You know what I mean? So I'd have to say like that's low key one of my favorite bridges of all time.
I mean, I just feel like it's just a missing piece that's missing from a lot of I guess contemporary R&B music, and what saves sometimes the record. The bridge is important.
Yeah,
the bridge is important. But thank you for doing that. Shout out to you, because like I said, everybody ain't able.
Well, listen, if I'm going to be an R&B purist and say that I put vocals first, then I got to come ready.
You got to come ready. And I appreciate you so much for doing that, Davion. It was a pleasure talking to you. Again, I'm
Pleasure's
so
all
excited
mine.
about this album and see where it goes. And I will be expecting some, the EP, the deluxe, the part 2. I'm going to be on the lookout.
It's going to happen for sure.
Shout out to you. Anything else you want to let us know about the project before we let you go?
I mean, I just wanted to like summarize because you know, Alchemy. If you've read the book The Alchemist, you know what I mean. It's about transformation,
Yep.
and you know what I mean. And I just like to give the backstory of why why I even chose Alchemy. And it's you know, the process. Alchemy is a process by which we take regular materials and, you know, they try to refine them through you know, whether through a process like burning away impurities to turn them into gold. And I feel like that's what relationships do to men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's and sometimes it can come from, you know, loss. Like I couldn't be the man that I am. Bless you, baby. That's my baby.
Right.
I couldn't be the man that I am for the relationship that I'm in now, that I'm so happy in and happy for.
I love that.
I couldn't be that had I not learned the lessons from the mistakes that I made in my previous situation. You know what I mean? And so, you know, that's why this project, you know, in the process of Alchemy, you know, I just, you know, urge everybody, you know, urge men specifically, you know, to you know, learn from your mistakes and pay attention to what's going on.
Are y'all listening though, for real?
You know what I mean?
Like,
pay attention to what's going
on.
Pay attention to what's not working for you. Work on that. You know what I mean? And grow so that you can be the best version of yourself that you can be, so that, you know, whether or not you're in the relationship you're supposed to be in, because clearly I wasn't in the relationship I was supposed to be. I would not to say it wasn't a good relationship, but this is where I'm supposed to be.
I love that.
Where I am now, I know is where I'm supposed to be.
I love that.
So, you know, work on yourself. Always try to be that best version of you. You know what I mean? That's my, you know, my takeaway for Alchemy.
And that's a great gym to close out too. Oh my God, that was beautiful. How can we stay in touch and follow you?
Yo, check me out. Follow me on. I'm working on my TikTok, but I'm
so sick of content creation. Y'all we gotta do TikTok, Instagram, X,
listen,
YouTube. It's too much. Come on now.
But y'all gonna get these recycled posts. You hear me? But no, follow me on Instagram at I am Davion F. Yeah. I respond to, you know, DMs, and as long as it's nothing crazy, okay. But you know, I respond to messages and you know, I'm very active on there, you know, whether it's, you know, commenting and you know, I try and support those who support me. So tap in on Instagram, you know what I mean? I am Davion F. Same on my TikTok, is I am Davion F, and my Twitter as well. So,
all right. Well, thank you again. This was a great conversation. Y'all know who I am, Khrissy B, Hot Topics, Sway's Universe, and I'm out. Peace.